Hello, and welcome to a black and white edition of the Smerdley Show. Do you like my voice? Nice and deep, huh? Today I want to tell you a joke, a very funny joke, and it'll tickle you pink. Oh, you say you're not in the mood for jokes? Oh, isn't that just too bad, because I'm going to tell you a joke anyways. All right, I'm going to tell you a joke, and it's a very funny joke. Okay, on with the joke. Here we go. You know those magicians on stage, those stage magicians, and they got to come up with a more daring escape trick, like Harry Houdini, who hung himself upside down in a tank of water, and then dropped himself into the bottom of the Hudson River, weighted down with 10,000 pounds of concrete surrounding him, and then 2 minutes later, bloop, he floated up to the top. And these guys who, stand up there, tear off their shirts, say, shoot me in the face with a gun. I'll catch the bullet in my teeth and I'll be unharmed. And everybody pays money. They're hoping the guy will get his head splattered all over the wall behind him. And they want to see how he's going to escape. Okay, here's this guy who had an escape. Here's a magician. And he did this trick. And it was a new trick. He just debuted it one time. And he said, okay, simple enough. I'll sit in a chair and balance a concrete cinder block on top of my head, okay? And I'd call a volunteer out from the audience, preferably a huge muscle-bound man, to take this here sledgehammer and draw it up over your head and smash the cinder block on top of my head. The cinder block will fall to pieces and I'll be okay. Alright? People are going, no, please don't do that, it'll hurt you. And finally, the guy came up from the audience and he put the cinder block on his head and held it like that. And the guy brought up the sledgehammer over his head and smashed it. And it compressed the guy's neck. And blood spurted out all over the place. And his eyeball popped out of his head. And he fell to the ground having a tongue-swallowing seizure. And they rushed him to the hospital and they had to open up his brain. They had to saw into his head. And his brain was massively bruised. It was like, those apples. Beat him up first, and then they're all brown and rotten inside. Well, most of his brain had to be removed, about half of it, but the guy can function with the other half of his brain, okay? But the guy was in a vegetative coma, okay, like Terry Schiavo. And what happened was he wasn't expected to ever come out of his coma, okay? And about 6 years later, he started moving. And one of the attendants noticed, and she went and got the nurse, and the nurse said, oh my God, I think he's waking up from his coma. And they went and got the doctor, and they called the family. And the family came in, and they're all gathered around his bed, and the guy's eyes fluttered. Oh, he's waking up. And the guy woke up, and he went, ta-da! See, I told you I'd be all right. I don't often tell jokes, but when I do, they're funny.